Welcome to the Cow Emporium Sunday Squash Edition. This time we're featuring a squash tart. And here's the lineup of ingredients this time. I am using the Kabocha squash again. Feel free for this recipe to use a butternut squash if you happen to have one. It calls for a pound of onions, and I used about 3 of those large onions, 2 cloves of garlic, 1 egg, and if you have heavy cream on hand, I just had 10%. Parmesan cheese, and mozzarella. And this is fresh thyme, but I did end up using dried thyme and oregano. Of course, salt and pepper. As always, we're going to be cutting our squash open. And this time I'm going to be cutting the squash into chunks because I'm going to be steaming it. Remove the seeds, but try not to take too much of the squash flesh. Here I am putting it into the steamer basket, and I had my pot ready to go. Just steam that till it's done. Yes, guys, I am using a store-bought crust. Tisk, tisk. I preset the oven to 400 degrees and pre-cooked those pie crusts. I'm going to prepare my onions. As I want to leave my onions into rings, I cut them that way. I also finely chopped up the garlic, and I decided that onions and apples go really well together, so I chose this apple to put a layer in on my pie. I spread those onion rings apart and got them frying. I added the thyme, oregano, and salt and pepper to the frying pan when you weren't looking. Keeping a close eye on those onions while I get the apple sliced nice and thin. About halfway through cooking the onions, I added red pepper flakes and the garlic. As the onions finish cooking, I am taking the squash flesh off the skin. I mashed it well, and to that I am adding my egg. I'm going to mix that egg up, and then I'm going to combine it completely. The onions are done, so to them I am adding my 1/4 cup of cream, and I'm going to gently cook that down until, as you see, the cream is absorbed and thickened. There's my pie crust. I wondered if that little crack in there was going to cause a problem, but guess what? It didn't cause a problem at all. So I take my onions and garlic mixture and I fill the bottom of that pie crust. I'm layering my apples on top. I know it's okay. That's not a seed. That's a red pepper flake. Once my apples were layered, I evenly spread out my squash mixture. Now feel free to use whatever cheese you like. Because of our $15 a week challenge, this is the cheese I happen to have on hand from before the challenge started. So I used some mozzarella and some Parmesan. I decorated my pie with fresh thyme sprigs and onions that I cut diagonally. This pie was not only savory, but it also had that tiny bit of a sweet note when you hit the apple, and it was a touch spicy thanks to the red pepper flakes. Bye for now, guys. Take care, y'all. See you again.